Yeah.
What up?
Yeah.
What's going on, my man?
Someone just sent me a text and said we're late.
Yeah, I was wondering, is that Mickey Wright?
That was
Was it?
TJ motherfucking Bell, boy.
Oh shit! He's ready for us.
Already on
Yeah,
this
man, we
motherfucker. Anyways, TJ Bell knows what's up. Just let's talk about a podcast. I know in the description it says episode 20. It's actually episode 21, season 2. That means in 2021 we have completed. This will be our 21st episode. Everybody says it's about consistency. If that ain't fucking consistent, sir, I don't know what is. But the link is at the bottom of the screen. What it is we come on here for about 90 minutes, fuck around, talk about anything we want, anything you want. You have a topic, put it in the comments. If you want to come on the screen, there's a link at the bottom of the screen. You just put it in your phone and pop, pop, pop. Of course, the OG Mickey Wright says, who fucking cares? And if you listen to the podcast, that would make you giggle. It would make you giggle because he's very consistent. Just like they say, we need to be consistent in podcasting. He is consistently telling everybody that he don't give a fuck about this podcast. He comes in, he says his fucking piece, and he gets the fuck out. I like it.
But you know, we got to give it to him. I never thought it would happen, and he came on last week.
Yes,
so
he did come on.
Cool. So he gets props to Mickey Wright. Let's give a little round of applause.
A little props to Mickey Wright. He does come in and pop in. He comes in and talks shit. But if you don't want to come in, it's fine. You can communicate through the comment section. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you don't want it, if you want to email your questions or hate mail for Scott, email your questions to ltapodcast2020@gmail.com and LTA Podcast on TikTok, bitches. So go check us out. Go like the page. This is the LTA Podcast where we talk about anything we want to, first of all, and anything you want to.
If you want to jump on, you got the link is scrolling across the bottom of the feed here. So StreamYard.com, PHGVV44WAC. Just throw that into any browser, put it on your phone, put it on your desktop, put it on your laptop, whatever, your tablet, and you can jump on.
And people have jumped on before for the first time and text me afterwards. We're like, man, if I knew it was really that simple, then I would just fucking be on every show. And I was like, it is. Once you do it, you feel more comfortable. I had a phone call. Let's bring in our first guest because he's another fucking OG in the motherfucking building. Really, the only week he missed is when he was going through one hell of a moving system. He was moving from one house to another in this crazy market. You know him as one person. He doesn't have all these crazy nicknames like some of our other guests. He is just straight up TJ Bell in the building. What up?
What's up, guys?
My man. What's going on, brother?
1 second. My wife just asked me a question. What?
Oh.
We ain't got time for that.
No. All right. No, we're going to restart the whole thing. She was asking me a question about my new shop I got built.
I saw, dog. I was following all the progress on Facebook. That shit looks dope.
You didn't waste
I was
time.
really thinking about this. I was really thinking about doing the same thing because I have a nice size. I got to get rid of half the shit in it. But I said to myself, if I just have someone build onto it the same size, that shit is banging. And that's what you did. And it looks good. So I want to get that number from you from that contractor.
I got you. Yeah, no, it was super. I mean, I'm not in it yet. The walls and the roof are up. So the siding and the shingles go on this weekend, and then the electrical gets run, and then it's balls to the wall. But I'm stoked. I cannot wait to get out there.
Awesome, man. Did you do any because I know you got to be running some power tools and shit out there. Did you do any extra insulation or anything?
Yeah, so all right. So my old shop was a tiny little just fucking shed. That's all it was. It was a shed. It was like 10 by 12. And it was never meant to be a wood shop. I got it before we had kids and before I got into woodworking. So it was meant to hold the lawnmower and shit like that. And then I got into this. So like my heat was 2 portable air conditioner. I mean, my AC was 2 portable air conditioners. My heat was propane heaters. So on this one, I've got a heat pump that'll be here this weekend, a whole separate heat pump for that. I'm getting the electrical run so I can run both of my CNC machines. Man, I'm so stoked. So
Mickey
stoked.
says you do great work, sir. You do.
I
Great
appreciate you, Mickey.
Yeah.
Thank you. Scott, what the
That's cool,
fuck
man.
happened to you last week, man? You just bitched out.
Oh, he didn't even.
Nah.
Yo.
Here
He
it
didn't
comes.
even.
Here it
Yo.
comes.
Hold up. He didn't even. He didn't even. He didn't even sugarcoat shit. He just says, "Scott, what happened?"
Like I was watching and I turned my head, I come back and you was gone. Just out.
You know,
Right.
what,
By the way, I watched
Bright
it
red
again.
too. You as red as this. You were heated.
Yeah, he was.
I who
he
cared
was.
myself.
Yep,
You
he
did.
sure did.
You did. I
He
get it
sure
though.
did.
You know,
No, I was just
I,
mad because I literally thought that I was in the exclamation point of actually proving my point, not proving my point, but making you understand my point. And then you were gone. I was like, oh no, and I lost all of it, and it was gone. And I would have loved to have you on for the latter part of that podcast. By the way, straight up
nice.
podcast gold, a live interview with an atheist that lives with a Christian, and everything is hunky fucking dory. But no, you got to take off and go elsewhere.
We can maybe do that one another time. That would be kind of cool, actually.
Man, we got deep. We got deep with Bible stuff. Man, it was fun. It was fun.
Look, TJ, one of my very best friends called me, and he said he was trying to get on. He always says he tries to get on, and maybe he does. He called me, and we had a 47-minute conversation about the podcast, that part of the podcast.
A word?
He wants to come on, yeah. So we're gonna do another podcast about that, and he wants to tell his story, and I would love to hear. Little bitch, Mickey says. Yeah. Little bitch fucking left.
That's right. That's right. I knew the heat was coming. I'm surprised this is all I got so far. I ain't apologizing for shit though.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you don't have to apologize again. It makes for a good podcast. One of our best pod. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he texted me.
Yeah, and that's I generally don't. I try not to get that riled up, but
What was funny though, like because I came in late, but the reason you were getting heated, like y'all were sort of in a weird way saying the same thing, but exactly. neither one of you could.
Brought it.
It was like the dot. It was like dots were right here, and as soon as you'd almost connect, they'd go back apart again.
Yep. And then that's what I'm saying. And then I got to the part where I thought I could interlock the dots.
Yeah, and I was watching. I was like, one of these.
You can.
Yeah, I said one of these motherfuckers is gonna snap. One of these dudes is gonna snap and lose it. Like y'all would get so close, and like Scott would be like, I see what you're saying. I understand. Well, nope, not that. Nope, you're stupid. No, that makes sense. I understand what you're saying. I see what you. Nope, not that. Nope, stop. I was like, somebody's gonna flip.
It was it was my favorite, not because of that, but for the whole podcast from the beginning to the end. A lot of content, a lot of laughter, man. Like I was dying laughing through the whole thing. I rewatched it till 1:30 in the morning right afterwards, like I always do. Sometimes I'll fall asleep, or if I know it's a part where I'm like, oh, I could fast forward 30 seconds because we're talking about fucking shit. So I hit that 30-second jank, but I watch every single one afterwards. That's why when people say, oh, you said this or this happened, I'm like, actually, I can pretty much quote it because I watch it. And then that one, I watched till 1:30 in the morning. And then while I was driving to work, I was listening to it to all my stops. It was great. It's about slow. The first 15 minutes was a little slow.
Yeah.
It sped up once Scott left. When Scott left, it was gone.
Fucking took the brakes off, man. They got dragging it down.
No, but like the fun part, like, all right, so the Bible talk, like, I'm very educated on the Bible, but I'm not uber religious. I'm not atheist by any means. I'm a Christian, but like I love talk like that. I like when you can break down spiritual stuff and try to get analytical with it. I dig that stuff. I absolutely love it.
I do.
I don't know why. I don't have a reason, but like taking stories from the Bible and trying to work them into everyday life and how current. I love that stuff. Like I said, I believe what I believe. I don't believe half the stuff that's in the Bible, even though I am religious, but
Well, that was kind of the point. You don't have to believe the Bible.
Yeah,
You don't-
nah.
You know,
There's so
just
many
be-
contradictory things in it, and I love I don't like arguing about it because at that point, and that's the tricky part with biblical stuff is like anything theology driven, regardless of religion, like people could get heated real fast. Like you could say one thing and it'll
It's hot
set
button.
somebody off.
Oh, we did get a comment about something that Scott said. I just remembered that.
Uh-oh. Hey,
He
man.
said, I think it was a text message. Yeah. You said in one episode, I don't know which one it is, but you said you were not religious and they're calling bullshit because you're a liberal and that's your religion. They wanted me to tell you that.
Oh, that's fine.
Like that's this.
I mean, it was
this-
that. Oh,
not funny. Like that's like no, that's your religion. That's what you live by, right? It gives you your
No.
values.
no,
Well,
that's
that's what
not
I'm saying.
my
Moral
my-
compass.
My moral compass isn't determined by my liberalism. My liberalism is determined by my moral compass.
There you go.
I like the answer, but I'm just saying it's still the same thing, right?
No. That's just somebody who says, "Well, you believe in." I mean, that's tying my values to a political belief system, which is not the way it works at all for me. My values have always been my values. Well, no, actually, that's not entirely true. I have changed.
Are
the way
there
I
any?
think
Are
about
there
life.
are there any Republican values that you share?
Yeah,
Me?
I do.
Scott.
I don't know. I mean, what are Republican values? I can't think of any off the top of my head. But TJ, you seem to think I might have some.
So no, not you, me. Like
Oh,
the gun control, pro-life. There's so many different like aspects. Like I'm not a hardcore Democrat. I have voted Democrat the majority of the time. But there are Republican values that I don't hate at all. Like I like the Republican view on gun control personally.
I can say this. What I understand about true conservative values is the self-sufficiency aspect. I understand it.
Yeah. The small government.
And I mean, I get that. I get the argument. I understand where that's coming from. On the other hand, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that. Yeah, and I think in a vacuum, if the playing field is level all over the place, sure, everybody could be, responsible for their own, or their own efforts could directly correlate or cause their own positive consequences. But I don't think that we don't live in a vacuum.
Got a kids cup.
I see what you got. I hope it's an adult beverage in it. Anyway,
It's water. It's water.
I'm just saying that's why the comment is made.
Yeah.
Because people believe. I mean, just like atheism, they're like, if you're an atheist, how do you have moral compass? Where do you get it from?
You want to go down that road? I have answers for that.
Before we go down that road, I have something else. I don't think that pigeonholing yourself into a 100%, this is the route I'm going to go. If you say that I'm a diehard Democrat, I'm only going to vote Democrat, I'm only going to vote Republican, this and that, you're sidelining yourself from any conversation that has any sort of intellect involved in it. You're not even open to looking at any other aspect of anything. I just don't.
That's why I get mad when they say I don't know how his fat ass sits on the fence every day and the fucking fence don't break, because I have some things that I feel I'm conservative about. I have some things I'm liberal about. That's why we made this podcast. People were labeling me.
As much as I hated Donald Trump, there were a couple things he did I was okay with and that I supported. The biggest one was that Iranian deal that we got out of. That Iran deal, we never should. If you went and looked at the bullet points of that deal that we got in with Obama, it was the most insane deal that ever could have been done. It was the equivalent of telling a serial killer, we're going to look for bodies everywhere in your house. And he's like, that's fine. just not in the basement. Like that's the equivalent of that. So like that was great getting out of that. Now the climate accords, the Paris deals, none of that was legit. But like he didn't. There were a few things that I could say, you know what, I agree with that. And nobody that is a staunch, hardcore, I'm only going to believe in one side would say that. So, I mean, if you can't be open, at least, to a conversation with any bit of intellect in it, then don't talk.
That's the only thing that I require.
Yeah.
That the conversation has intellect, that there are points to be made, that there's and I think that all of this folds under that intellect. There are legitimate, reasonable, logical points to be made that are based on some sort of data or understanding of things.
Yeah.
Well,
if you can have a peaceful, calm, or even heated conversation without just leaving a podcast immediately, I am ready to roll.
I take umbrage at the description of it. I left immediately. I yelled and screamed and hollered for a long time before I left. I just want
12 minutes and 37 seconds. We were going back and forth. And it was like 2 hours into the podcast. So he didn't just leave.
We're well into it.
I know. I'm just giving him a hard time.
Oh, I know. It's great. I love
Give me grief. I was expecting it. But back to what you were saying, though, G, about where does your moral compass come from? Again, we don't. I've given this considerable thought. If you're an atheist, where your moral compass comes from. I know where mine comes from, but I can't speak for all atheists. But
are you an atheist?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing. Doesn't mean anything to me. Just I don't.
Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't know. I didn't think that
TJ, you were on the podcast with his wife when she said, "I'm married to an atheist."
That was my wife. In case you didn't know.
Yeah, I think at that point though, I was in the middle of packing, moving, but I didn't want to miss the cast. So there's probably a few things I missed.
All right. Well, Scott, you tell me where you got your moral compass from. But first, can I tell you how I think a lot of atheists get their moral compass and see if it aligns with yours?
Yeah.
So I do believe knowing right from wrong. Obviously, the whole Bible is kind of about that. Do this or this will happen. This is good. This is bad. Blah, 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 blah. We don't even have to get into all that. I'm just saying I'm going to assume that was in your life early. Maybe y'all didn't go to church all the time, but I think you came from a religious household, right?
I came from a household that certainly believed that my parents definitely believed in God, but we were not practicing at all.
Right.
They would have. What's that?
Now, is a moral compass exclusively related to any religion?
No.
Like I don't understand why we're associating that.
I'm trying to get to a point. Now there's a lot more atheists than when Scott was young, because that was a long time ago. So it may be more accepted to have two atheist parents. So from the beginning of that child's
two religions, then
he has two atheist parents, or an agnostic parent and an whatever. But back in the day, most people, even my family, we weren't super religious either. But I learned that if I don't do this, I'm going to hell. I'll go to heaven. This is good. This is bad from religion, even though we weren't religious, but it was there. I think nowadays, like if someone had a baby today, 20 years from now, this argument might be not right. But I think I got my moral compass, maybe for the wrong reasons, from religion. And then that kind of taught me, because I always say I respect religion for one thing. So, extremists on it, whatever, not extremists, just religion in general. It does give people a good moral compass, or the right way to live their life. And then later on, if they don't believe the consequences for their actions, they still got their moral compass from religion.
I would think that So look at it this way. This is how I see it, though. If you take religion completely out of the equation, right? Just take a mom, a dad, and a kid, and the dad tells the kid, "Don't backtalk your mom, or I'm gonna smack the shit out of you." That's not the same as you're going to hell, but you still learn right from wrong. Like religion, heaven and hell have nothing to do with right and wrong, depending on how it's presented to child or adult or whatever. Like that's why I don't understand the moral compass. My morals are respect my elders, things like that. Like,
Yeah,
but
but
that has
we know what it
nothing.
is. We're trying to
If
figure
I cuss out my grandma, I don't believe I'm going to hell. I believe that my grandpa or my dad's gonna smack the shit out of me.
right, which is
Like, that ain't
also okay to stone your kid in the Bible.
Right.
I mean,
So
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
I just feel like this. I mean, think about it. Everybody don't want to talk about it, but was this country not founded on white Christians? It's
okay,
like,
so
it's on our money.
But if you look at the right and wrong, that's how I look at morals, right and wrong. This is right, this is wrong. I mean, every religion has their own. Actually, every religion has a right and a wrong as far as their society's involved, but not every religion has a heaven and hell. It's just this is the way to act.
No, I'm just saying it's a guide. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a guidance, and I can't think of another guidance than that.
A
That's why I
backhand,
asked Scott
a,
where he
a
got
backhand is a real good guidance on how not to fuck up.
all right. So
that's child abuse. That's not moral compass. That's
here's,
fear. Yeah.
Nah.
no. Let me address what G was
It's a
saying.
consequence of doing something wrong.
But somebody's teaching that based on what? So here's
Why do you think it's wrong? Because God said it.
What G is saying. So first of all, yes, my parents, even though there wasn't a lot of talk of God in our house or anything, we were raised with what I would call more traditional Christian values. You don't lie, you don't steal, you share, you try to be kind to one another, that sort of thing.
Are those Christian values though, or is that just
Christianity? I mean, yes,
that's fair.
They're values, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, because they believe in God, these are Christian values. My dad was, his father was Catholic, so I mean, he was raised at least to a certain age as a Catholic, and that was not for him in the end. But the point is that if you think of those as Christian values, if you think of our society, the values of our society is largely being based on those Christian values, which, going back to what you were saying, G, what we know is the USA Today is based largely on Christian values. It would be very difficult to escape them altogether in any form as you're growing up. I mean, you're taught in kindergarten to share, to be kind to one another, don't hit one another, don't lie. I mean, those things.
And you also say the Pledge of Allegiance under God, indivisible.
Right. But anyway, the point is,
I'm just saying, I think it is the basis for moral compass. Because it's so old too. The religion goes way past the United States.
But you're not wrong. But here's the thing. So again, I've delved into this quite a lot because there was a point in my life, not maybe 10 years ago, where I was trying to figure this out. Is there such thing as moral absolutism? That is, do morals exist outside of religion?
Yeah.
I mean, so there is a right and wrong outside of religion, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not
besides not laws. So take away laws and take away religious laws, and then where does it come from?
Well, then so that's right, exactly. So I started going back. Backwards. What is the purpose of religion? What purpose did it serve initially? Where did it come from? And so you go back to and you think, okay, well, religion, the primary purpose when people started doing, and started in creating religions, and even now, one of the primary reasons for religion is to provide answers to the mysteries of the world and the universe. I mean, that's the truth. We have, and if you really want to boil it down, a lot of it has to do with death. But going back, let's just go back, thousands of years, religious teachings gave them gave them answers to questions that were unanswerable, for even just natural phenomena, things like that they didn't understand. There wasn't the science for, stuff like that. But then you go back before religion, before all of that organization, and what was the purpose of morals before there was religion? Because there certainly were some morals before religion.
That's where I'm confused. I agree. That's what I would go hunt for. But where is that? Where is life without religion?
Well, before
when does
religion,
that start?
Before
when
religion,
does that start, though?
That's what I'm sort of getting to that. You go before religion, you go back tens of thousands of years, and you had
there was still right and wrong then too.
Right, but what was that based on?
Not getting your ass whooped.
Well, come on.
Or eaten by a tiger.
Do better than that. Think about this: survival, rules for survival. When man was not guaranteed survival, we had to band together in groups. That's where societies came from, because we were stronger in groups.
Yeah, but you're not guaranteed survival now either.
What's that?
You're not guaranteed
Bear with me.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. Back then, I mean, your literal survival. You're not going to get attacked by a saber-toothed tiger or whatever. Things like that were required a cooperative nature of society. And in order for that to work, you had to be able to trust one another. So there was a system of morals that came out of that. You do not, thou shalt not kill kind of thing. You think about it. Well, there's not that many of us. I can't just kill somebody because I'm mad. Every hand is useful in making sure that we survive.
Right.
So it was, I think this is my belief, is that those basic morals grew out of necessity for the survival of the species. And then as we became, they got incorporated into religious doctrine, and religious doctrine then began to incorporate reasons for, again, natural phenomena, or answers to the ultimate question, which is what happens when you die.
Or a whole bunch of people die from the flu. They don't know what the fucking flu or medicine is, so they're like, "Oh, right. They were killed because of this."
It was their time when somebody sinned, or God works in mysterious ways. They answered. Religion served the purpose of answering questions.
Yeah, but even now, tens of thousands of years later, if you're a devout whatever, you still think are taught it's a necessity, to go to heaven. I mean, I
think that's immaterial. I'm just saying where all of this is my feeling of where it all came from. Now you talk about survival now. Yeah, this is why religion is having a harder time now, is because we don't need each other as much to survive. We can be insular. We don't need each other in the same way. We don't need to, be cooperative in the same way, or build our little communities or clans in the same way.
No, I get it. I've never taken it back that far, because I feel like even in the caveman days, there's like drawings on the wall where they may have been worshiping something. So I was like, when did that happen? It sounds great.
I think it happened pretty early, because again, we didn't have answers to questions. So there had to be things. So anyway, coming forward again, what I came to the conclusion of was, I don't believe in any specific essential moral absolutism. I think that morals and religion came out of sort of necessity, in a manner of speaking. And so then I said to what I was trying to decide for myself was whether or not I needed the moral value system that I had, whether or not I would be better served by jettisoning it. Because if I'm being honest with you, this is where all of this started. Was it seemed like there were a lot of shitty people who were getting ahead in life and in the world, who are making millions of dollars and doing, and they're the shittiest people in the world who have no moral compass. And so this is where all my questioning started. Where, if I make the conscious decision to dump my value system, what does that mean? And I mean,
do you agree? Do you agree with my theory that you may have got your basis of your morality from the early parts when your parents were telling you things?
Absolutely, and that's what I came down to. Well, I'm drilling down in a lot of different ways, and what I drilled down to the basis of me was that I don't have, without religion, I don't have a specific basis for the moral system, value system that I have. Other than, I mean, you can say, go along to get along. If I'm out there murdering people or stealing, I'm not going to, not going to last very long out here in this world. But the point is, when I got to that bedrock, when I said there is no moral absolutism, the reason that, but I understood that I felt that I knew right from wrong, and I also knew where it came from. And I realized it didn't really matter to me where it came from. I knew that for me, doing right by people, not lying, not being a decent person, being a good person, didn't have to be connected to a religion for me. It just was who I was, and it didn't matter how I got to be that way. So I thought, of course, my parents being Christians, not any devout in any way, but they taught me that belief system, being subjected to that specific belief system in the society that I grew up in. All of that shaped me. And I realized that I would probably not be happy if I got rid of all of those things. So that I did, again, this was all consciously thought out and reasoned through, and said, when I came to that, it was like, okay, I don't need anything. I know who I am. I know what I believe in. I know why I believe in it. And I can move forward with my life. This is not likely to change now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless there seems to be some evidence of a God that convinces you otherwise.
I don't know what kind of evidence you could.
Let me back up. Now, I'm just talking about morals. Now, if you're talking about God, I'm inclined to change my mind on anything when I'm presented with the proper evidence.
That's what I'm saying.
So it doesn't mean I'm agnostic. I really don't believe it, but I'm open to changing my mind about anything. You talk about, people talk about me being a liberal. I used to believe in a lot of things I don't believe in now.
Well, I say that because
and they
some
were very conservative
atheists,
opinions, by the way.
some I say that because some atheists, I've heard some atheists say that if if God could be proven, they still would not worship that God because he's such a bad he's not a good God in their eyes. I'm not saying that.
Well,
I'm just saying.
It's so funny because here's the I think it's Epicurus. He was a Greek philosopher. And hang on, I want to get this straight. We call this the problem of evil. And essentially, it says that we generally think that God is all powerful and all good. But the problem here is that
Right there.
if he's all powerful, then and evil exists, and he chooses not to do anything about it, then he is not all good. And if he is all good and evil exists and he can't do anything about it, then he isn't all powerful.
Yeah, then you get into the free will argument, and it's
you
reverts on itself.
We did a podcast on this last week, Scott. You missed it.
Anyway, I've run over that Epicurus's dilemma or statement on the problem of evil a couple of times over the past couple of weeks in this household. In fact, it's a fun thing to present religious people with because it's an interesting dilemma, and you can't. It's very difficult to argue. The main argument I think people can come up with, well, God works in mysterious ways, which for a logical atheist like myself, that doesn't fly. But that doesn't mean I don't mean that in any condescending way toward people who believe. So
no.
Yeah.
Anyway, how's that for a
topic? I mean,
like
I believe with a very extreme amount of prejudice. So I mean, I question everything.
I'm still figuring it out. I question everything too.
Right. And I would, if somebody wanted to talk to me about it, in more detail or anything like that. I mean, there's not a whole lot more detail I can give other than I just haven't seen any evidence. But
I just hate I hate when people say
to convince anybody that my way is the right way either. It just works.
I hate when people say atheists are bad people, no heart because there's no moral. It's like they're people just like you, bro. just like
This
you. I
is-
mean, how can you say that about an atheist? And I guess you would feel the same way about a Muslim or a Jewish person because they're in the wrong religion or they believe the wrong God. So it's like the whole thing. I was very confused growing up when I
Well, you
started
know,
actually reading the Bible.
I think
Confused.
there are arguments, and I've read these too, or there is an argument that atheists may be better people than religious people. And I'm not saying this is my argument, but the argument goes that atheists, because we are at least the ones that I know of are very moral people, morally righteous people, generally speaking. That
Except those
we may be
Antifas.
better people because we're not doing it for any particular reason. There's no reward for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I'm not saying that, I'm not here to bash on anybody for being religious. So it's not really my thing. I don't necessarily buy that, but if you wanted to argue, if you wanted to be an asshole, you can make that argument.
No, it only gets me going in an argument or a conversation when they start belittling me or telling me I'm going to hell. It's like, yo, that's like so not Christian of you.
No, not today.
You know? It's like
It's getting a
that's
little
not
bit late.
Christian of you.
We can try this weekend.
Yeah. It just makes me laugh, honestly.
Baby, I
I don't
cannot
know
take
that
your
everybody's
training
going
wheels
to
off
hell
right now.
anytime, but my mother has certainly worried about my beliefs or lack thereof. How can you not believe in anything? I was like, I believe in lots of things. I believe in science. I
Purple
believe in plenty of
unicorns.
things.
You don't believe in science, Scott. It's the
Oh.
opposite of believing is science.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I believe in
Like,
science and truth.
you have science, so you don't have to try to believe into something. Like it's gonna tell you.
But there are
legitly.
people who don't believe in science, so I guess that I can say that I believe in it, right?
There's people that do believe. They do believe in science. They believe in the science they want to believe in. They pick and
I
choose their
believe in all of it.
sciences.
I want to believe in all of it. So
I want to believe in all of it too. But you can't say you can't pick your sciences and they pick their Bible verses. It's the same
Sure,
thing.
why not?
You got to believe all of it.
well, that's what they do. They do pick and choose their sciences.
Oh, I know.
Anybody who uses any modern technology,
Scott, it's way
believes in
easier than
science.
that. You don't have to say that atheists are better people. No, I'm just saying. No, because the real thing is this. I can sum it up for you. You want to know why
He
I know
didn't say
that-
it. He just
that
quoted
all
somebody else
atheists
that
are
did.
bad and Christians are good? Tell me I'll wait. We can wait. We got plenty of time. I'll wait on the answer if you want to Google it. Tell me the last war that wasn't some kind of religious related. You can start in the Middle East if you want. Or you can go
I mean,
all the
that
way
would be
back
the
to
one that was over oil.
the Roman Empire, maybe the Mongols, Scott. They weren't religious, were they?
No.
They
I
were
don't
just
think- I
axe
don't-
murderers.
The Middle East
Vietnam
was
War
over
wasn't
oil.
really a religious
No.
war.
Well, I'm not talking to why America went into the Middle East. I'm talking about why they're fighting forever for 5,000 years in that.
But you said a
country.
war. That was a war we were in. We were in it for
Okay.
oil.
Yeah, and because we wanted to make them what? More
Democratic?
Democratic, more American.
Well,
That's
the
not
real religion,
religious.
right? The real
We're
religion-
We're white Christian males that founded this country, TJ.
Christianity isn't the religion of this country.
Yeah,
Capitalism
that's,
is the religion of this country.
What is
yeah.
So yeah, from that perspective, we were fighting a religious battle. We
In
were
God
trying
we
to spread
trust is
capitalism.
on our money, bro. It's on our currency.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, take it all the way back. I mean, every war, man.
Yeah, we could do a whole podcast just about that, frankly.
I mean, how
Yeah.
many atheists started a war?
I don't think the Civil War was over religion. That was over slavery and
key word. Yeah, and there was God said you can have a slave, TJ. It all comes back to religion, bro.
okay. I mean, if we're gonna, if you want to dig deep, and I mean,
No, I'm not trying to start.
No, I think-
Why
I
did
think
we?
That's fair.
Why did white Christian Americans think it was okay to go to Africa to get boatloads of slaves?
Well, they convinced themselves that it was the religious.
It doesn't matter, but they know they're not going to hell for it.
But one of those captains of one of
Because
the
the Bible
hundreds
says
of
they can
boats
have
was
slaves.
probably a Christian. So at that point, we can say that it was religiously motivated.
It's all religiously
all right.
motivated.
Let's
That's
move
fair.
on. Let's move on. Was there any other hate mail?
No, I didn't check.
I don't
the
know
new
how there
emails.
wasn't. I don't know how there wasn't, Scott.
I
If
could tell you how. I could tell you how there wasn't. You want me to
if
tell
there
you
was
how?
ever a time for people to come after Scott, it was last week, and nobody did.
Really?
Nobody did.
Somebody I mentioned that to somebody that's a fan of the podcast, and his only response was, "Well, it's Scott." Like almost like you've done it before.
I want to know.
But you didn't.
I want to know the F-bomb count for Scott last week,
Oh,
because it was
man.
every other word,
Behind.
every other.
it was,
I was,
crazy.
It's a good thing you're
Friday.
not. It's a good thing you're not Christian. You'd have gone to hell just off of last week.
I think I
Yeah.
blacked out a little bit there from rage. A little rage blackout.
Damn.
Oh,
So are we
man.
done with that topic?
I
Sure.
think so, yeah.
All right,
We can
moving
revisit that
along.
one
We don't.
another time.
Yeah, we don't have. Yeah, we'll do a podcast on another time, and then we do it. That's what I'm saying. That was a good 15, 20-minute segment. Really enjoyed myself.
All right.
It was
let's go
great.
light. Are we ready?
Trump
right,
is suing Facebook.
Oh boy, Trump is getting sued, isn't he? In this CFO about to go down. That
Oh,
CFO about is he gonna sing though? Is he gonna sing though?
He's
We'll
not
see how-
going down.
how-
He
He's indicted,
So-
right?
Yes.
yeah, but he went to the cops.
Well, I think
He-
he had to.
Yeah, no,
We've already
he no,
questioned him.
he never can. He Jesus, what is the word? He gave himself up. When they listed the charges that they were going to come down on the organization before the charges were filed, he's like, just hey, I'm gonna come in.
I got it. So you think he's gonna be the fall guy? He's
He's
gonna be
not.
Oliver North?
No, he's not. I don't think he cooperates. Of course, he's going to flip. Who wouldn't
Yeah.
flip on Donald Trump?
Well, we're gonna
Yeah.
see. No. We're gonna see. Some people don't think he's gonna flip. I think
Really?
this will be proven how powerful Donald Trump is or not. If he flips, it's over, bro. It's over.
All right. Well, here's the bigger question.
Not
hang
really.
hang your MAGA hats up. Hang
But
them
his-
up. It's over.
So
Mary
his
Trump-
his accountant already flipped and went to jail and wrote a book in jail. Like the guy, I forgot
Oh,
his
that was the
name because
lawyer.
it didn't.
That was Michael Cohen.
Yeah, Cohen. Yeah, he already
That's
flipped
not-
on him with.
that's not- But he's not. He didn't know all the.
All
the
he knew
illegal
about
stuff
was
that
the
he-
hush.
that
He
Trump is being charged with
transferred
now. He
that
didn't have
hush
all
money for the Stormy Daniels chick.
It's still
He-
embezzlement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's way bigger than that.
Nah,
They
tax evasion, embezzlement. But that's all the charges
Some
are now.
people
It's,
say tax invasion all the way back to 1967
Yeah,
on
but
his
it's not even-
ops, bro.
they're not even going after Donald Trump. They're just going after
Yeah.
the Trump organization in a
Yeah.
backdoor way to get to him.
They'll get to him. I think they will.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
Oh,
what I'm
well.
saying. I think he's Teflon Don, dog. I think
Nah.
that guy's gonna take the rap. That guy's gonna go to prison next week in Nebraska. He's gonna have another fucking rally, and it's up. Move on to the next
Nah.
shit. The dude is
I don't think so.
Teflon, bro.
Well, okay. So if it's not him, if they don't get him, what's his name, Weisselberg or something?
Yeah.
If they don't get him to flip, they'll get somebody else. So
Eventually-
the thing is how much. So what they're saying, what I read was essentially they kept two sets of books on how they were paying him, right? And they said if they kept two sets of books on how they were
Watch your
paying
head.
that guy, they were keeping two sets of books on how they were paying other people.
I
So
saw
all
it.
they got to do is find the other people. Now, apparently, his kids potentially have some liability too. And
That's
then the
the
question
thing.
is, do they flip on him? Mary Trump, Donald Trump's niece, says- fuck yeah, they will flip on him in a second. They will flip on him in a second.
Yeah.
They have a lot more to lose. Ivanka Trump will flip on him in a second because she can't afford to lose her in-laws who are legitimately wealthy. So if it comes down to that, she'll flip on him in a second because she'll still have the money from her in-laws.
I have a theory on this, and I think this is why, me personally, I think this is why instead of going after Donald Trump they went after the Trump organization because he's on the top of it. If he's able to skate, if enough people just turn a blind eye, it's just going to go down the chain of command, and all of his kids are on boards. And then if they're like, you know what? We went after the organization. If the top dog is not at fault, who's next? What do you have to say about it? And
Hey,
who's
Scott.
next? What do you have to say about it? And eventually they're going to be like, yo, I'm not taking the fall for this.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
I think that's why they went after the organization, because there's enough people that are directly related to him as far as his family, his kids, that Teflon Don, sure, he may skate. Enough
That's what I'm
people
saying.
will.
That's the bet.
Enough
That's the bet.
But
enough
I
people.
don't think he will. I think somebody's
All right.
gonna flip on him.
Listen to my bet. $25.
All right.
Donald Trump not be indicted nor charged with anything in the next 9 months. $25.
Done.
Yeah, I'll do. I'll
Done?
take that.
Virtual
I'll take
shake.
it.
He has to be subpoena. I mean, what did I say?
Charged.
Indicted or
charged.
charged.
Yeah.
Charged
Nothing will
all
happen.
day.
All
All
long
day.
charged. All day
Nothing.
long.
He'll get
Matter.
charged all day.
Yeah. He just-
Do they
I'm
go,
sorry.
Scott? Do they go with all these other pending ones that we talked about last week?
What are we talking about? Good Lord. All right, let me see. So we got 9 months: August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. April 7th, 2022.
All right. So, how do you want to do this contest? Do you want to? Obviously, only one of us can talk at the same time. I just reshared it on Facebook that the dad contest playoff round number 1, week 1, is about to start. So, do you want to go 3-way? TJ may not be prepared for that,
Probably
or
not.
TJ can be the scorekeeper
TJ,
and judge.
Are you ready for a 3-way?
So 2 things. 1, I'm always ready for a 3-way, and 2, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. So a couple of years ago, I think it was Mark Wahlberg and the
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell did dad jokes. And
Okay.
I say a joke, I have to, if he laughs, I get a point, and vice
Right.
versa. And first one to 7 wins, and then we move on, and we're gonna do this once a week. Or
Okay.
we can battle each other right now. All 3 of us can go, and whoever gets to 7 first is the winner of this week.
I'm not currently prepared. I don't.
Okay.
I think
don't-
you can have a pass this week.
Yeah, I'll score keep. We can do it right now. I'll score keep.
All right, cool. So this is how we're gonna do it. You're gonna be in the feed, TJ, but I'm gonna move your drop you out of the picture, so it's me and him face to face. But
Okay.
we still hear your commentary. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Let's hold on. Let me just.
And I'm just deciding who laughs, not who has the best dad joke.
So yes, we might try to hold it in and not laugh, but if you consider that a laugh, you're gonna give
Okay.
us a button. Yeah.
I got it.
I
got it.
That's a laugh. And
All
then
right.
you just keep track.
Okay.
So let me figure out how to do this. Edit mic settings, kick from screen. All right, so it's gotta be. All right, TJ, can you hear us? All right, see, we can't hear him. I'm gonna have to do it a different way. I got it. Or maybe we can do something like this. Put the judge in front. Whoa.
Nah, you
Damn.
gotta get-
That's good right there.
You got to get our faces up there pretty good. Well,
Can't
That
you-
looks good to me.
Oh, that's solo layout.
That's just me.
All right. I can do it, but it removes him from the thing. I swear I should be able to. Oh, can you mute your mic? I mean, your camera.
Who, me?
Yeah. Just your camera, not your mic.
Stop cam button right at the bottom.
There you go. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yep. It says
Awesome.
TJ is in the
Hell yeah.
stream with audio only. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Who's going? We'll flip a coin. We'll flip an AirPod. See my AirPod?
Okay.
I'm gonna flip it. If it lands
Well,
to the
I'm just gonna-
left.
you go first.
No, I always let my ladies first. Hold on. I know you got yours on your computer screen. I gotta get mine on my screen.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right. Are you
I'll get
ready?
it in a minute.
I'm ready.
Let me back this up a little bit. All right. You go first, Scott. All right.
All right.
First one to 7 wins. I'm gonna turn up my mic a little bit so I can hear you. I mean my headphones. All right. I'm good when you are.
All right. What do you call it when Dwayne Johnson buys a cutting tool? Rock,
I
paper,
thought
scissors.
Okay, that's a laugh.
I thought it was another joke. This does not count for my joke, but I'm gonna
No,
tell you
that's-
the joke I thought he was
Okay,
gonna say.
you still laugh though. That's still one.
What do you call when you touch Dwayne the Rock Johnson's ass? Rock bottom. Ah. That's what I thought you were gonna say. You threw me off with the fucking scissors. That was great. All right. Where's my first one? Ready?
Yeah. Okay. I told my girlfriend she drew.
No, it's my turn. That wasn't my joke. I was just showing you a different joke that I thought you were
that was your
gonna do.
joke. Oh, well,
No,
shit.
no. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
What do you call a bear with no teeth? Gummy bear. Go.
All right.
Go.
That's one. All right. Ready?
Scott, you had him, and then you started laughing at the end.
I know. G makes me laugh anyway.
That's what happens sometimes.
Right. All right. I told my girlfriend she drew her eyebrows too high. She didn't say anything. She
But
just
she
looked
seemed surprised. Steal. That's what's called a steal. That's
No,
a
ain't no steal. You can't
That's a
steal.
steal. I get 2 points for a steal.
No.
That's
That
not
was
a
one of-
thing.
You
That's
can't
one of
make
my
up the
best
rules in the middle
jokes.
of it.
That was one of my best jokes.
Well, then you laughed at your own steal. Then
She seemed surprised. I love it. That's one of my favorites, man.
All right.
Ready?
I'm ready.
I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I was tripping all day.
Good one.
oh, he held on.
Damn. Okay, go ahead.
My uncle has 2 Rottweilers named Rolex and Timex.
Fuck.
They're his watchdogs.
I know it was on my list.
Oh, we were looking at the same list.
I guess so. All right, you ready?
All right, go.
What's orange and sounds like a parrot?
I don't know.
A carrot.
Yeah, he got you. he got you.
It's the stupid ones that are funny.
I know it. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. My friend was showing me his tool shed and pointed to a ladder. That's my step ladder, he said. I never knew my real ladder.
he got him.
It's on my fucking list, though. I love that one.
Come on. What
Oh,
was
dude, I could show you. Watch Dogs is right there.
I went down a few. Best life
All right.
online. All right.
All right, here we go. Ready?
All right, go.
My wife told me to be more in touch with my feminine side, so I crashed the car.
Mm.
Then I ignored her all day for no reason.
No, didn't get it.
It's got all my good ones.
All right, let's see if you got this one on your list. Ready? If 2 vegans get in a fight, is it still called a beef?
Almost. Almost.
Almost. I haven't heard that one. So sometimes it's worth a laugh just for some new shit. Okay, ready, Scott?
Go.
Why don't they play poker in the jungle? There's too many cheetahs.
Not laughing. But
Cheetahs. There's too many cheetahs.
all right, you got me. You got me. All right. Let's see. A slice of apple pie is $2.50 in Jamaica and $3 in the Bahamas. These are the pie rates of the Caribbean.
See, some of them look better when they're written on the screen because it's like a wordplay thing.
Right. Agreed. I still like it.
That's where some of mine are getting.
Do I get one? Do I get one for PJ laughing?
I like that one.
All right.
You're tied up 3-3.
Is it my turn?
It
Yeah.
is. I only got 2 jokes left.
Why is cold water insecure? Because it's never been called hot.
Ooh. Oh, that's so bad.
So bad.
All right. No point for you.
Go.
All right. I'm reading a horror story in Braille. Something bad is going to happen. I can just feel it.
Look, I like that one. You could give more
got
for that.
He got you.
I like my Braille one better, but that one's cute. That one's cute. Nothing scarier than reading "Don't touch" in Braille.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Speaking of Braille, is it your turn or my turn?
Yours.
Okay. What is what is Forrest Gump's password? One, Forrest, one.
He got him.
One, Forrest, one.
All right, we're tied up.
All right.
That was my
This is
hit.
my last joke. Ready? This is the last one I prepared. I was playing chess with my friend and he said, "Let's make this interesting." So we stopped playing chess.
That's such a Scott joke.
on,
You,
man.
all your friends that you know would laugh at that except me. That's not fair.
All right, it's tied up. He don't got no more. So if you can get him on this one, G, you got it.
I got a couple. I don't know which one I want to go with.
Pick one good one.
Damn, they're both good. I don't know which one to do. All right. Without women, sex would be a pain in the ass.
Almost.
Hey, Scott,
That was
what
good.
do you call a belt with a watch on it? A waste of time?
That's so bad. Was that your other one?
I went to the zoo yesterday and I only saw a dog. It was a shit zoo.
That's a good one.
You should have gone with that one.
Hey, what's up?
All right, that was a tie.
Having
pretty good.
having sex on an elevator is wrong on so many levels.
Bad. Yeah, I literally read 150 of these.
I rub ketchup in my eyes. Now I got hindsight. Hindsight.
See, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah, I didn't go far enough down my list. Oh, this one I was gonna open up with this one. I was gonna say a joke about my dick, but it was too long. Here's a Scott. This is a Scott joke. This is only him and 4 of his closest buddies would laugh at this joke. Ready? Scott, what did the cell say when his sister stepped on his foot?
Oh, mitosis.
Mitosis.
I saw
Very
that
good. Mitosis. I know. I put it in there, but I was like, I'm probably not gonna say it.
That was. I rejected that one. It wasn't good enough.
All right, so we tied. So next
All right.
week we'll go in
Next week
0-0. I'm
Round
coming
two
way
next
harder
week.
next week. I'm coming way harder next week. I was taking it easy on you. Should have got you. I should have opened with those last three. Been a fucking sweep. Been a fucking gentleman's sweep.
I see. I see.
Scott, do you know? Scott, we'll finish up with this. Do either one of you know who Mark Keith Robinson is?
Do not.
No relation to the podcast fan Craig Robinson. Mark Keith Robinson.
I'm looking up.
He is the North Carolina lieutenant governor.
Oh yeah.
And apparently he is the new Trump. This guy, if you look up this video, it's too long to play on the podcast, but I listened to about the first 12 minutes of it. Really hits hard on critical race theory. He's a black Republican, by the way. Hitting on real hard on critical race theory. And a lot of, like, as I was watching it, I was like, damn, he must watch the podcast, because he was like going in order of all the stuff that we have talked about. So might be a good listen. Just
I'll
look
check it
up.
out.
Just look up Mark.
Drop it in the comments if you got the link to it.
Yeah, Lieutenant Mark Keith Robinson. He's a veteran, and apparently this guy has a real opportunity, maybe in the next 8 years or so, to become president of the United States.
Yeah.
That's not fair to say. The comparison was this: many years ago, it was at the DNC. You remember when President Obama gave his speech at the DNC? He was like 28 or some shit.
Yeah.
38 maybe. And not a lot of people, one particular person in my life said, hey man, watch out for this Obama guy. He's coming. He could be the first black president of the United States. And I was like, whatever. When was that? 2012 or something?
No,
Or 20, whatever.
2004
or
or something.
2004. Yeah, sorry. So they're like, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Sure enough, I'm watching the inauguration, not the inauguration, when he comes on the stage and accepts that he won.
Yeah.
He was out there with Michelle and his daughters, and they had bulletproof glass all over the stage. And I really was on the edge of my seat. This is how, and this is then, not now. I was very cynical then. And I said, I want to turn this off. It was giving me anxiety because I really thought he was going to be shot on live television.
I got a question. I got a question about that when you're done. I want to get back to that when you're done.
Yeah, but my point is, the same guy that told me that Obama, after making that speech, would probably move up the ranks and become president of the United States, told me to Google and watch this guy. But he's Republican instead of Democrat. So just check it out. See what you think.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. It's a long one, so we'll talk about it next week. By the way, I don't know what we did, but I think we got blocked or something because, I mean, we've had 0 viewers this whole time, no comments, and we don't roll that way. So something happened. But anyways, it's all about the replay. But that search was at the Conservative Coalition, North Carolina. He just gave a speech. It's on YouTube. Even his introduction, bro, like he came out like he's Donald Trump. It's crazy.
So during Obama's first run, and I'm admittedly not a huge Obama fan. I liked him. But I was not like a diehard Obama supporter. But there was 0 doubt in my mind he was going to lose that. None. Like absolutely none. When even the second race. I mean, there was, especially the first one though.
People hate him, but he's great.
He dog walked both of those elections. I mean, there was...
It wouldn't have mattered who they put against him.
No, there was no chance. I have a... So you said you listen to the podcast at night. One thing that I do, I actually listen to Audible. Like when I go to sleep, I'll listen to books and I just set the timer for like 30 minutes. I'm like, that way I don't miss stuff. And his book, Obama's book, the whatever the hell it was called, I don't remember.
I made it, bitch.
Yeah, I don't remember. But when he was detailing, and he read the book. I mean, he narrated it, but when he was detailing the first election process, it wasn't even a matter of like him being cocky or anything, but there was zero chance. The second one, maybe it was up in the air, but that first one, he dog walked everybody.
I'm gonna go farther than that with you, and I'm gonna say if he was eligible, he would have won in 2016 as well.
I find it hard to believe, even post Trump, like, because 90% of the diehard Trump supporters, they hate Obama even more now that Trump has been the president. I find it hard to believe. I don't know who could beat him. I don't have Trump.
He
Trump
could run. No, he could run right now and win.
Trump, if him and Trump were side by side, Trump would stand a chance. But I don't think.
Or it'd be just hate versus hate. Maybe hate versus hate. Like who hates who worse?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, that's one way of looking at it. And you're not wrong. But
just be careful what you say on a podcast.
Yeah,
or TikTok or Facebook.
That man was the most, and again, I'm not a diehard Obama supporter, but he was the most eloquent, best spoken, intelligent.
That's what the Republicans will say. Like, we get it. He could speak good. No, there's more than just that. That was a bonus. I'd be mesmerized listening to his speeches, man.
Yeah, but it's scary when somebody that is able to just talk that well and get their points across is also that smart.
And calm. Have you ever seen him get all nothing? He never got razzled.
My favorite moment of him was during his second State of the Union when he said, I have no more races to run. And every Republican stood up clapping, and he paused and he's like, that's because I won them both. Like at the State of the and everybody just like, well, fuck you. I'm gonna sit down now. Like, you couldn't shake that man. You couldn't do it.
All right. So if you had to put a percentage on it, 100 being the holy Jesus himself, where would you rank his presidency on a scale of 1 to 100? 100 being Jesus.
Can we do 1 to 10?
That's okay. 1 to 10. 10 is Jesus.
I actually liked 100 better because it's I think there's nuance in there, but yeah, I'd say
6.
6. Wow.
7.
I thought after what you just said about him, I thought he'd be like an 8.
I never said he was a fantastic president. What I said, I even said it twice, that I did not believe in a lot of the stuff he did. I didn't support a lot of things he did, but there's nobody that could beat him. That's what I said.
Yeah.
But as far as how effective his presidency was,
6 out of 10, you said
6, 7,
6.5. We'll go 6.5. 6.56. Gotcha.
Sure.
All right, Scott.
I'd probably say 7. I'm not that far off of TJ. I think that obviously he was hamstrung a bit.
Yes.
So that kind of makes it difficult, and there's only so much you can do under those circumstances. But there were things that he did that I disagreed with, extrajudicial drone killings and shit like that.
Yeah.
I believe that. He frankly was a little too conservative for me in some of his things he did. I think that expanding the powers of the presidency was certainly a dangerous thing, but he wasn't doing anything that other presidents haven't done.
Yeah.
That doesn't excuse it, but I don't like that. There were a few things here and there. I don't think he was as divisive as everybody tries to make him out to be.
No.
The divisiveness is within people who were offended by the fact that he was black, frankly. But
Yep.
That's
what I'm saying. I don't even. Would somebody argue that we're less divisive now?
Oh,
no, not a chance.
Yeah. So I mean,
but it wasn't.
It is what it is. I'm going 1 bite. 1 bite. Everybody knows the rules. I'm going like 8.75. I know that's a high number, but I was at 8 until Scott said something and made me go to 8.75. The reason why Scott took numbers off because he said he was too conservative, and that's actually what put numbers on for me. So I will go 8.75. A conservative Democrat, I love that. 8.75.
You ought to love Biden then.
I don't. I don't want me to rate him right now.
No.
But
I'll be right back. I gotta go say goodnight. I'll be right back.
All right. Scott, my whole point to that was now because I hear a lot of people, mainly on the left, say that President Obama was the best president we ever had. He has some stats to back it up. He has some approval ratings to back it up. He got elected twice. We just said it was a fucking landslide. And then the opposite argument is that no, silly. Trump was the greatest president. So I want your honest number on. Let's see how close these numbers are. Since it's a coin toss on which one is the best one ever, let's go with your number on Donald Trump. Go. Be honest.
He's a 1. I'd give him a 0 if I could.
A 1.
The guy only ever did anything good by accident, or if it served him in some way. He's not smart. He couldn't speak. I mean, it's just entirely self-serving, regardless. I mean,
how can you say this gentleman cannot speak and he sells out arenas for some people to come watch him speak?
Those people can't hear.
Dad joke. Funniest one of the night.
I was going back to some things that I've done some journaling over my life. I was just perusing some things that I wrote post Trump's election, but pre-inauguration. And one of the things I wrote was that I feared that his presidency would be the most corrupt since Nixon. And I was absolutely 100% right. And in fact, it was probably more corrupt than Nixon. Was Obama the best president of our lifetimes? Maybe.
All I can go off of what I've seen.
Yeah, but
I'm not a presidential historian.
The best president ever.
But the argument is this: Reagan, diehard Reagan fans to this day, best president hands down. There's no argument. And then the opposite side is like, oh my God, Trump was Reagan part 2. It's just terrible. They're both awful.
Well, neither of those things is true.
All right, so while you were gone, Scott, we're doing the same thing with Trump. Scott gave him a 0.75 because he can't give him a 0. What would you give him on his presidency?
We're still doing 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Not 0 to 10. Although somewhere between, I couldn't give him a 0, but G allowed me to give him less than 1. So
2.
That's generous.
Wow.
We can't be friends anymore, TJ.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate my number then. Oof. Again, I can only base it off of what I've seen. So let's go through this real quick. I was real young during Reagan. Like I was born in 1978. So what was he at White House in 82? Was I 4? 81? I wasn't even fucking 4. So can't count him.
I didn't think about that. Scott, are you still grading like Jefferson and stuff like that?
Well, no, I'm grading him. I'm not grading him against anybody. Just what do I think of his presidency?
I'm just talking about who was the president when we were alive, like Jefferson, Adams. That's your time.
Oh, that's funny.
He had to say. You finally get it. He had to say that joke 1.5 times for you to get it.
Oh. The delivery was off, I guess.
That was a delivery thing, right.
So I'm gonna go with Donald Trump. I'm gonna be honest. And again, I had a number in mind, which was 2.75. But then Scott said something, and I went 3.25 because Scott said that he couldn't speak. And my favorite part about his presidency was his rallies. Pure comedy genius. Those press conferences for COVID-19.
You can't give him points for that.
It's why I think his presidency was good.
So my reasoning for him getting any positive votes is kind of off the wall, but it makes sense to me. His presidency in my opinion, brought forth a lot of it shed light on a lot of people that were in hiding for so long. Like,
but that's all right. So I guess I'm judging things differently. Like, on what value did he provide to the country through his presidency?
I know who to watch out for in Mechanicsville now.
And not by being so bad that you suddenly, all the slime and worms came crawling out from under the rocks. I don't think those are good things you judge a presidency on.
No, we're just saying our experience.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, I think the scale. We didn't define a scale.
I TiVo'd that shit, dog. I DVR'd his fucking speeches.
TiVo'd.
My fuck TiVo. I pulled that shit back out of the ass, right? So the reason I bring this up, you gotta be careful on what you say on social media. You hear me say that twice already. Did you guys hear about the guy? I think it was on TikTok. He went on this racist rant, and this dumbass was like, "I live at 609 Pinewood Boulevard," and fucking everybody, like thousands of people. He has cops protecting his house right now. Black Lives Matters out there. A little bit of fucking Antifa mixing that bitch. They're out there setting up tents. They're just camping outside of his house.
He got arrested.
This motherfucker. He got arrested. Changed his life.
The best part was that the people that showed up at his house, they wouldn't let him leave his house at all. So the only thing he could do to eat after he ran out of food was DoorDash. And every time they would show up, the people in his front yard would just take his food. So he still couldn't eat. He had pizza delivered one time. The pizza delivery guy walked up and the people were like, "Give me that." And they passed out his pizza to everybody in the crowd.
Scott, is that woke? Are the people at his house woke?
I don't know what you call those people.
They're just angry. He was entitled. He felt emboldened by the person that let him feel like you could just say whatever the hell you want. And it did not work. I wouldn't say the people are woke. They're just pissed off, and you gave me your address and dared me to show up. Okay.
No, they showed up too, like thousands, bro.
Uh-huh.
I didn't hear about this, man. I've been on.
Oh my God, check it out.
Oh, he went off. He went off. Yeah, he went off hard. He was in this and in that, and monkey this and monkey that, and
see, I didn't even hear all that. I just heard the end of it. It's New Jersey.
Well, it was bad. He dropped an N-bomb like probably 4 or 5 times, and then he's
no way.
Yes. Oh, you didn't hear that?
No, I just heard you. It just said racist. Said some racist things.
Man, the whole video, he's talking to his neighbor. Like his neighbor pissed him off or whatever. Neighbor's a black guy, and it's somebody else recording the conversation, and he's like pointing at him like in his face. He's like in this and in that, and he looked at the guy that was taping. He's like, "And you could take your monkey ass over there and get out." And then after like 7 or 8 N-bombs and monkey this, he's like, "And if anybody's got a problem with it, my address is here. Y'all come see me." I was like, "This ain't gonna end well, homie. This ain't gonna end well, dude." Because they showed up.
Sure did.
Oh, it was bad. It was real bad.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Can't hear it.
Oh no, really?
Hey, you gotta learn how to work this.
Oh yeah, because it's in my earphone. But I just wanted you to see the crowd. This is him finally leaving.
No.
Oh damn!
That's him leaving his house.
It's so messed up.
This is where it started.
Yeah, right there. That audio is pretty hard.
Is it the guy in the green shirt or the other guy?
Yeah.
The guy in the green shirt.
Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang Killer
Yeah.
Bees, baby. Represent that Wu-Tang. You don't know nothing about that, Scott.
Yeah, that's Ghostface showed up. Everybody did.
RZA, the Jizza.
Uh-huh. They had a reunion. Oh, then he apologized. He was like, "I didn't really mean what I said." Like, dude, there ain't no comment. If you listen to the uncut audio, there is zero apologizing
Yeah,
in that. It's like, dude,
do that, Scott. You got they'll cover the whole. It's all over YouTube. But I just wanted you to see the amount of people that showed up. To that point, they weren't even arresting him at that. They were trying to get him out of there anyway because the whole house was surrounded.
Yeah. And he couldn't get no food. They were stealing his DoorDash. He couldn't even eat.
That is so crazy.
Oh wow.
See, I'm glad. I'm glad. I should have did some research. I'm glad that you knew a little bit more, because of course I saw it on TikTok or YouTube where it was just like it just showed him in the background yelling at the neighbor, and it said racist guy gets they get revenge on racist guy. 2,500 people show up at his door, and I just saw that. I didn't know about the DoorDash. I didn't know about how bad it was.
The audio on that is probably one of the worst displays of it that I've seen.
Wow.
I mean,
really?
It was bad. It was really bad.
This is what the guy said. He said, I've never been a racist. I've made mistakes.
Okay.
Racial slurs out of anger or being drunk. I may not be able to relate to communities of color, but I'm not a racist, and I have the utmost respect for us as a community. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now, do you have the transcript of what he said?
Nah, I don't.
It's a whole lot of bleeps.
Damn.
It was bad. It was really bad. But again, even that guy, even if that's how he felt, and that's how he's felt his whole life, what are the chances that he may not have been quite as inclined to feel like I'm allowed to say this now? This is my thing. I can do this. It's
well, you can. We have freedom of speech. You just have to pay the consequences. Those are his consequences for his actions.
Are you saying that you think that this feeling of entitlement, this ability to say this out loud in public, what he believes and shares, is driven by the current political climate or the political climate for the last 4 or 5 years?
The past political climate, yeah.
He's what he's talking about. Remember those slime balls you were talking about that coming from under rocks? That's what he was talking about.
Anytime a sitting president can tell people go take over the Capitol building, and then an hour and a half later he's like, all right, everybody, let's go home, and get away with it.
I don't want to be that guy again this week, but I don't think he said go into the Capitol building.
No, he didn't. But I know what you're saying. I understand both of what both of you are saying. I'm not ignorant enough to not believe that they knew what he was trying to say,
right?
And they followed his advice.
Yeah, he did not say quote unquote. No,
and people always say, the other quote that they mess up with him is like, "Well, he sat on national television and told people to inject Clorox," which he kind of did, but he didn't say inject yourself with Clorox, right?
That's why they were trying to get him with enticing, not instructing.
Yeah, that's true. I guess there's 2 different charges.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
Yeah, that was a goodie.
Yeah, it was. Let's.
He stayed in his seat too.
Made it the whole time.
He's got an hour and 24 minutes. That's good. We like to be done by 90 minutes. That's great.
Mysterio's streak is over.
Oh, he's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, he is.
He might have had to work.
No.
Shame.
I totally forgot.
And whatnot.
I had the longest streak for a minute.
All right. Yeah.
Call him up. We don't want him to end his streak. Get him off for 2 seconds and let him get it. It's like letting they let.
Yeah, I lost you guys now.
He's still there?
Yeah, I can hear him in the background, I think. Oh, no. Maybe not.
All right. Must be working.
Your call has.
You gotta leave him a voicemail. You missed the streak.
Right.
Streak is over.
I even. Dan, they're throwing bricks at that. See, that's what they're not showing. They just throw this. This dude is throwing a fucking straight brick at him. So I'm assuming that somebody was filming that and they were on a live stream because he was pointing at the camera and he was like, and if y'all want to go ahead and film me, y'all want to come to here? My address is 2646 Palm View Drive, bitch. And 10 minutes later, that motherfucker couldn't get DoorDash anymore.
Yeah. Yep. Man,
Shout
they
out to
couldn't-
Chris McDowell. Chris McDowell ain't been around in a long time. About 17 podcasts ago, Chris used to come in here. Jesus, shaking my head. No, that was the topic earlier.
Missed
I already
it.
did that.
Sorry, man.
All right, play it. That sucks for fucking and no Craig Robinson tonight.
I don't know. I
That's
would have thought we'd had a big audience tonight after last week's fireworks.
I know. I'm very disappointed.
Well, maybe people on vacation.
Maybe you need to go somewhere.
Hey, let's get the. We need to get some details for fantasy.
Yeah, we need a draft date for sure.
Yeah.
Do
Or
you have
draft
any-
order.
Do you have your draft order at least? Do you have any dates that you already have for your other ones?
Not yet.
Yeah,
I'll let
so
you know.
We can set whatever we want.
Yeah.
Don't care. What's up, bitches? It's just me. I got rid of them boring ass motherfucking lefty ass fucking commies. Thanks for coming out. Not a lot of fucking people supporting the show tonight, which I'm a little disappointed. But shout out to Mickey Wright. Shout out to the Who Cares podcast crew. Mickey Wright, again, Aaron Michelle, Chris McDowell. That's it. I mean, my mom usually checks in. My dad even showed up one day. He left me when I was 6, but he showed up on my podcast. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But if you want to email the show, email your questions at Let's Talk About It Podcast, LTA Podcast 2020 at gmail.com. This was episode 20. Just share it. That's all we ask. If you want to be on the show next week, holla at your boy. I'm your boy. Thanks for coming out. God bless. And good night.